Welcome to Soul Sister Stories, where we dive into profound journeys of spiritual awakening with inspiring women. I'm Rika Markel, your host on this journey. My passion is to empower you to tune into your soul's whispers by presenting you the stories of soul sisters who have dared to dream and live extraordinary lives while helping others doing the same. Hi everyone, I am here with Julie Cloutier, and we're going to have another Soul Sister Stories. So welcome, Julie. I'm so excited to have you today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here too.
So Julie and I, we have a little bit of a history together because I think we are on a very similar spiritual path. And we're both those people that know, or we understand what it means to recognize your true nature, which makes life so much more spectacular. And so it's a huge honor to have Julie on my show. So we're going to get to know her a little bit better. So Julie, please tell us a little bit of your story. What is your background? Tell us about your spiritual awakening. Just go ahead.
Okay, so briefly, as a young kid, I do remember the joy of learning concept. I remember the joy of naming animals and learning about the moon and the awe of revealing existence or knowing existence. I was blessed to have a first few years that were quiet enough that I could connect with dad. My dad was an alcoholic, but he stopped drinking for the first 4 years of my life. And I feel that it made a difference in my capacity of feeling effortless joy, which was veiled after when he started to drink again, which brought some situation of not feeling safe. Very young, I remember looking at Jesus and just knowing God loves us. There was nothing else, like I couldn't believe that God would judge. For me, judgment was just impossible in the eyes of God. So I
Got it.
felt love, I felt we are supported by the field of love. So
Got it.
that was lost, that knowing was lost through difficult experience, low self-esteem, problem with physical abuse in a relationship as a teenager. And so I had to kind of climb my way up. I
Got it.
went to psychotherapy at around 25 because I felt I was not even able to function normally. I was afraid of having intimacy and friendship. So that's part of my my human path. And I came to a place where I had a lot of success. I had a good job, I had good condition, good vacation, working with nice people, hard people, having a house and a second house and a dog, and everything was nice and beautiful, but I was not happy. And that felt really empty. And there was a period where I felt a deep hopelessness that what will happen? I can't find happiness here. I tried everything. I went through a period of emptiness when my dad passed in 2020 because my whole identity was around being the good daughter of dad. Taking care of dad was a big part of my identity. So when he died, this part seemed to be irrelevant. It wasn't there anymore. And because the worried about dad was really present all my life. And when he died, I did not worry about him, obviously. I knew he was at peace.
Well,
And
yeah.
this leaving left like a kind of an emptiness as well, because it felt really weird to not have that, which had been present all my life. So through that process, at some point, I came to a point where I could not be in conflict anymore. and I just prayed for harmony. So the prayer was, the thought arose, I just want harmony. I can't do this anymore. It felt like a big surrender, which came naturally. It was prior to realization. Was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't know what to do. I feel totally hopeless. And it's probably, in the way I see it now, is probably like the mind came to an end of itself.
I understand what you're saying. It is
So after,
challenging to see it that way because it's not like a normal concept, but I do understand what you're talking about for sure. Yeah.
to its own limitation. So I found with intuition, I found the greatest secret. I knew nothing about non-duality, nothing about spiritual awakening, never heard the term, but just listening to the book in a space of just without effort, without, I was not trying to understand anything. I was just curious. Oh, it's curious what she's saying about where is the happy person when the sad person is here? Where is the angry person when the happy person is here? I could just see that there was something that was always there, which was not happiness, anger, sadness, joy. Something was always there. That was the awareness that was pointed to in the book. And for me, it was clear that I'm not moving, that my being is not moving, and everything is moving in it.
Yeah.
So that was the realization in April 2021. And then from there started a process of dealing consciously with belief, because I had not done it before prior. So I didn't know Byron Katie. I didn't know nothing about this. I started to just reveal, okay, what's the belief? What is the thought? What is the energy, the emotion attached to it? And so my process was to deal with these consciously, but also feel in the body. I had to somatically feel the contraction, allow it to exist. And that was not an easy thing to do, but it was really worth it, because the more I did it, the more I could see my life became free. And not only my life, my sense of being, my effortless being is now not a search, but a naturalness, the natural state of being. For me, that resonated a lot when I listened The Greatest Secret. The natural state of being is just being. There was a will or an allowing that this might be true, that maybe it's possible to live without suffering. And maybe it was enough. So the process was also to somatically make the contraction, because I feel that the absence of seeking is possible when we allow ourselves to do what we truly want, what we truly love. And when we allow ourselves to do that, sometimes fear will arise.
Yeah.
Or the sense that I might fail, and by meeting these emotions, it enables us to stay aligned without a fixity, without a rigidity. There's possibility to change course. It's more fluid.
I think there's a lot of people are seekers and just like me, like I was a seeker my whole life. There was never anything else. Like I just remember like a 6-year-old understanding that there is so much more out there than what you can see. Like and I think for me, the most difficult thing was when I came to the understanding that other people didn't have that feeling, didn't have that idea that there is so much more. Like what you described, the awe and the
Yeah.
beauty and the sun and the moon. I was kicked out of classroom one day because I was talking about the power of the moon on the on we were talking about the tides, and I'm saying, yeah, the power of the moon, and they were like, what is she talking about? And I think that I was 16 and I still remember like the same influence that it has on the ocean it also has on our body. And it's like, so, and I was like, I went all out. The teacher kicked me out because I was just delusional.
To their standard.
And then you are thinking about, maybe I'm wrong, So that was
Mm,
my biggest disappointment, that other people
yeah.
didn't understand what I understood. And with the greatest secret, as much as people are reading The Secret and they do very well with that, and the law of attraction and the power of manifestation and how your thoughts create your reality, and that is all so true. And then when The Greatest Secret came, I started reading it, and that was okay. But then after my realization, I read it again, and it was like, oh my God, it was here, like on the first page already.
Obvious.
How could I not see that? And so I think that for a lot of people that are seekers, they would definitely benefit of looking up what Julie's doing, and we're going to talk about that, because there is like a difference between being on a spiritual path and being interested in the law of attraction and wanting to improve your life, or those spiritual seekers that are so unhappy because they don't find what they are looking for, while it is there all the time. There's nothing to seek. And
Yeah.
so there we can, I think you have an ability also to help people to end that seeking,
Yeah.
even because the suffering is in the seeking.
Yes. The
The suffering is
seeking.
in the seeking, and it's not necessary because everything is unfolding effortlessly. So
Yeah.
there is no need to
Nothing
seek.
to seek.
But it is,
Yeah.
again, like I tell the story in one of my videos, that my son says to me, because I started after my awakening, I wanted everybody to know that it was so simple and it was just there.
Yes. We
Like,
all fall into that.
we all fall for that. And I'm like, and my son looks at me and it says, Mom, do you really believe it's fair that you tell all those people there's nothing to seek, there's nothing to do? You are a seeker your whole life, and now all of a sudden you're gonna say there's nothing to seek? And
Wow.
I looked at him and I was like, you know what? You're so right. You are
Mm,
so right. Because, when you don't find it,
yeah.
you keep seeking. Seeking is
Yes.
what you do because you want to, your soul knows,
Yeah.
and your body is just holding you back. And so and I say body because body, mind, thoughts, feelings, it's all the same. What is it that you started, like, I know that out of this experience, you started to work with people and you started to like really help them on this path of spiritual awakening. So how did that happen? Like, how did
Yeah.
you start doing that?
Teach what I practiced on myself and what worked. So I invite those that feel a resonance to try, because I was very innocent. When I came to the greatest secret, I knew nothing about non-duality, and I was done. I was like, I just want harmony. So I practiced diligently what she teach in the book, which is the practice of welcoming and being open to see everything. So I kind of took a vow. I want to see everything, and I am ready to welcome the pain body, the sadness, the anger, the doubt, the fear, the worry. I was just, tell me what to do and I'll do it. And so I did diligently to the best of my ability, feeling the impatience as well. I want this to stop, feeling that too. I use it to invite those that are ready,
Yeah.
because I feel that the sweetness is when the belief I'm not lovable is really not potent and not plausible anymore. There's a possibility to be your true expression and to be of true value to the world. And also at the same time, receiving abundance for what you bring to the world, and equally giving and receiving. And that's so the seeker rests in awareness.
Yeah.
If we can be the spacious awareness that is listening from the heart to the sadness, what would it say if it had words? I'm alone, no one loves me. I see you. I came with the distance. I am not that emotion. I'm that which is aware of it. And starting from that, dealing with things consciously. What is the belief? What is the trigger? What is the trait of the trigger? It will be sometimes it will be the same. If someone is demanding, maybe it's triggering. It's always like you kind of spot them from far away. When you start to know them, you're like, oh, this one. Oh, it
Yeah.
doesn't create anything because everything becomes clearer and clearer. It dissolves the confusion and the idea there's too much, I'll never be able to deal with it. All of these beliefs. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working mostly on the somatic level, revealing the program, revealing the benefit. What do I get out of this? Maybe I get to be loved, to feel safe. Can I let go of this need to reside in my own sovereignty?
In a way, it's like when you say it like that, it sounds very easy. But you and I, we both know that
It
it,
takes time, it
like
takes patience.
it's not something. A lot of people have the idea that spiritual awakening is something that just like you turn the light on. And then from there, the light is always on and there is nothing to do anywhere to sit. And I don't say that that is not possible. There are people that are
Yeah.
like, if you look at somebody like Eckhart Tolle, for sure, in 1 minute, and the whole world changed in front of his eyes. But I don't think that, like, for my personal experience, because of course I knew and I listened to Eckhart Tolle so much, and I listened to all the teachers that Rhonda Byrne is featuring in The Greatest Secret, and they all have a different story. And thank God, because that made me realize that my story also could be different. And the
Yes.
reason why I'm saying that is because the people that are listening, they might say, well, let me say it that way. One time, a gentleman reached out to me and he says, for 2 weeks, I went through a process exactly like you guys explain. And I knew my true nature, and it was all wonderful. And after those 2 weeks, the door closed again, and I was back to before. And since then, I cannot be happy anymore because
Mm.
I miss that feeling of those 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
I think that is like, that breaks my heart because
Mm.
this is because we are programmed to believe that once you have it, that's it. And
Ah,
if that is not true,
yeah. Yeah.
then you go through that doubt and how, like,
I shouldn't be feeling this.
I
Why is
shouldn't,
this
like,
still happening?
get it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're listening and there were some peaks in your life that you knew that you were there, then you did recognize your true nature.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean because in this moment you feel like you're disconnected, which is of course never the truth. It's you're never disconnected, but you
Mm-hmm.
need maybe a little bit of help
Mm.
to see it again. Like, and I think that was for
Yeah.
me what David Bingham did for me. All of a sudden, he gave me a way to connect with it every time it dropped down,
Mm.
which was very powerful. Like,
Yeah.
I had those moments of spiritual awakening throughout my life that I then
Ah.
realized that I had them, but I
Ah.
didn't know. And I fell back all the time because the ego doesn't want you to be. I have a strong ego. It's fending for itself. And it will tell me, you're delusional to think that you can know your true nature. And it's like
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
will show up and manifest itself, you know? The ego wants its spot, like you say, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
wants
it's
to
like
feel it. The
the
ego wants
mechanism.
to
Yeah.
hide, you know? And it's different for everybody. And then somebody like Julie will be able to help you connect, and it's not even connecting because the
To
word
be
everyone
that.
uses, yeah, Let
to
me say,
be that.
yeah, I try to use the words that I know will resonate with the people that are listening, because this is what I needed to hear, what I was working for me in order to get to where I needed to be. So
Yeah.
the words that we use, they're not correct, but they're never correct. No matter what you say, a word is just a word. It's never what it is supposed to be. But I would say you have to learn how to connect with it, like you say, to be. But if you don't know how to be, then the word connect can help you
Yes, okay.
to
Yes, yes.
bypass the mind. You use a word that the mind can work with in order to bypass the mind, if I make sense. And I think for people that are, it probably makes sense.
Yes,
So
connect to that flow
yeah,
state, that
it's like,
beingness.
yeah, once you connect with it, you can drop everything else. It's not connecting. I'm not saying I for
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like pointing,
the
eh?
diehards, for the
Yeah.
diehards amongst us, it's not, I don't know, the word is not correct, but I have a lot of success using that word with
Yeah.
people.
She said in The Greatest Secret, it is mentioned that some people awake in one swoop and some others gradual, and
Yeah,
most is gradual.
yeah, but we don't want to hear that.
Yeah, it's like
That after,
like the one that is looking for the end point is the
yes,
one that has to dissolve
yeah.
in the
So
presence.
read, you read what you can grasp, because all the
Yeah.
other stuff you don't even. When I read it, when I read it after my realization, I thought, is this the same book? Am I correct? Am I reading now the
Yeah.
first? Am I reading the? Because it looks like a totally different book,
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
words have a
Yeah.
different meaning at that point.
Yeah. And I think it's not necessary to have a clear realization to work with me,
Oh,
because you work on the program, revealing the program and the emotion and an embodiment of I am safe.
yeah,
And then there is more and more revealing that your true nature is the natural state of being. So it doesn't matter which way you take. You don't have to wait for this moment to come to do this or that. Follow your intuition guidance. It's already guiding you to yourself. If it doesn't resonate to work with someone, don't. And if it does, do. There's nothing more important than that.
absolutely. So, Julie, let me just ask you something else. Who are the people that are showing up for you? Like, who are your clients?
I have many that are tired of thinking about awakening or reading about it. And
Got it.
they're done with enough knowledge, enough with the knowledge. I want to experientially be those that are ready to, thirsty to stop trying to learn and understand.
Got
They
it.
want, and I propose a roadmap for that, for embodiment, for experientially feeling I am safe. It's I suppose I speak to about self-actualization as well. That if we bring awareness and love to our character, the unconditional love to our character, to self-actualize, because the person has a destiny. And that I love the soul journey. What am I here to create? What am I here to experience? What am I here to taste? Can I feel safe enough to try and walk into the unknown?
It's also sometimes just enough to get permission.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
that somebody, as much as you don't need it, but it works, it helps. To just
Yes.
that
To have permission. Yes, you can trust yourself.
it's such a good thing.
Yeah.
So, how do people find you? I mean, do you work one-on-one? Can they make an appointment with you? Do you have a course? Anything? Just how can
Yes.
I work with you?
So the best channel is my website. It's rootsbakery.com. The YouTube channel where I do walk my dog and muse, walking
Okay.
and musing. And yeah, and that I work one-on-one on my website. There's a calendar where someone can book a session. I do have single session. I might add session in a package because some people they find support in having 4, 6, 8 session. I do have a one-on-one single session available right now, and I will reintroduce the package because I find it's most supportive for people to have a length of time to integrate what we reveal together. It's mostly somatic work, not inquiry, but revealing the program and the feeling and just allowing in the container of safety. Rest
Got it.
more and more in effortless being. And I also have an online course where I take small group. I love the small group format, 5 or 6 people, no more. And it's a safe container. And I find that everyone is contributing to everyone. And that has an acceleration effect. And I
Yeah.
meet with the group twice a week when I start with a group. For now, I have one. We're going to see each other for 3 months. I might make the online program 2 months instead of three, but the format might change a little bit, but not much. And when I meet with the group, we meet twice a week. And I find that's really supportive because when you come into a field of high vibration frequency and you go back to your normal life, the frequency that you are integrating, if there's a week in between the meeting, it's a little bit too long. And every twice a week maintains the field of safety where you can start to feel safe to work on these things that are arising because you're not alone. You can join every week, twice a week. It creates a sense of safety in a container where you can.
A lot of the coaches that we bring in Soul Sister Stories are working in a similar way because that's the real deal. Like it is
Yeah.
absolutely helpful if you can connect twice a week
Yes.
because also it's like we're all one. So if
Yeah.
we can say, of course, we don't have to connect with each other and you can do it on your own. But in the beginning, you're just not that good enough yet. That's what Joe Dispenza would say. You're just not that good enough. So you need that little bit extra support. And with
Yes.
that, things become much
Yes,
easier.
it does become easier.
Really
It
helps, yeah.
really is a value. And the course that I do, it's an energy mastery course, and the first month is on emotional intelligence and meeting ourselves and revealing the program, the trigger. It gives us tool to see clearly, bring things in consciousness, in awareness, so that we're not driven by our subconscious program, that they become conscious. Oh, once they're seen, it start to have less and less power over us. The
Well,
second part is about the five kosha, which is a model that was really, really supportive in myself to feel into the effortless being body, wisdom body. And the last part is about the balance of giving and receiving, boundlessness and boundary, so that
yeah.
we can be soft and at the same time the guardian of our time, energy.
Oh,
Yeah, because too much love imbalance, then there's overgiving.
yeah, again, we're still living in a dual world. As much as we talk about non-duality, the
Yeah.
duality, it's like two sides of one. That's why
Yes.
it's one, but it has two sides.
Yeah.
One always has a front and a back. There is no other thing. So you need to find a balance between the two sides.
Yeah.
Something that a lot of people, it's not hard to get that, but
Oh no. Yeah.
we forget sometimes. Okay,
So
Julie,
that's it.
we're almost going to the end of our interview, which of
Right.
course is always said. I can talk to you for hours, and I can with all my guests, and it's amazing. Is there a last thing that you would love to share with our audience, with the people that are watching us?
The main block into happiness is the resistance to feeling. And it sounds scary sometimes to open up to feel what we truly feel, but it's possible to do that while functioning normally in your life. You set some time aside in the safety of your home and allow yourself to feel what you feel. And then you continue your normal life. You go to work, you take care of your family, nothing is falling apart. And as there is less and less resistance, what is revealed is the joy of being. But there's
Yeah.
a process. So I would encourage people to be patient the body. The body is an instrument that works in time and space. It needs to be the nervous system, calming the nervous system. So I'd say anyone can start wherever they're at.
That's true, for
So
sure.
that would end with that.
Thank you so much, Julie. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So I would
I
encourage
appreciate it too.
everybody who watched this interview to check Julie out. Also go to her YouTube channel. And I promise you, you're going to find a lot of valuable information there, and you will be able to already start a journey with everything that is out there for sure. And
The
so
most beautiful journey.
all the links to reach Julie are below the video. And then for me, there's only one more thing to do, is to say goodbye and then wishing you a wonderful week. And the next video will be on shortly. Have a
Thank you,
wonderful.
Rika. Thank you
Bye-bye.
for having me.
You're most welcome. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining us. If our journey today resonated with you, please consider subscribing and liking this video to support our growing community. For more insights and resources, be sure to check the links in the description below. They're filled with valuable information and support to guide you on your spiritual path. Remember, your soul's journey is unique and magnificent. Stay connected, keep exploring, and let's continue this journey together in our next episode. Until then, keep listening to the whispers of your soul and embrace the life of your dreams.